very rim of known space, justice is a long way away.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Space Game Junkie podcast. I, as always, am your co-host, Brian. Joining us, as always, is your co-host, Spaz.
It's all on the wheel.
Your co-host, Julie.
Hello from the Midwest, where ice scrapers are all elected officials.
Oh. God damn it. That's a good one.
Quality.
Sadly, Thorsten won't be able to join us for a while. He got some work, and sadly, that work scheduled him for pretty much exactly our podcast window. So we're gonna say he's quote unquote on assignment for the next several weeks.
Yeah, he got a real job and all that.
He's on assignment for a while. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. But hopefully he's doing well. Also joining us is your co-host Jacob.
Alive as always.
And your co-host David.
Hello, Shad. Let's go gambling.
No gambling. Friends, we haven't done Spin the Wheel in a while, and coming up with topics is, I'm going to be honest, it's been kind of hard lately. It's kind of difficult lately. So today we're going to keep it light. We've got a bunch of topics here on the wheel. We're using wheelofnames.com. This is a fantastic site. You can put in as many questions as you want. You can save your wheel and everything. There aren't really ads or anything. It's a very impressive site. So we're going to spin the wheel and just do like a quick fire topics, basically. So here we go. Spin the wheel.
Yeah, it's quick fire topics we can cover in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. What do we got? Ooh. What do you do when you suffer from choice paralysis? Oof. Like, with a game, like you stare at your Steam library and you're like, what do I play?
I don't know. I'm like 85% choice paralysis by volume. I do not know the answer to that question.
I don't know if I have an answer either. Okay, go ahead, Julie.
I do. Well, there's two circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
First off is choice paralysis when all the games that you want are on sale at once. And then you realize you only have enough, because that's also what the question means. But you only have enough money on your wallet for one. So you remember that the game about living in the Shire is coming up, and you save your money for that. Otherwise, if you look at your library and say, oh my God, look at all the games I want to play, you remember that either A, Lotro has the 18th anniversary celebration going on and they extended it, or Lord of the Rings or Star Trek Online has the Ubership of Uberness event, and they nod away, and you don't have to choose between one of three. They're giving away all of the prizes at once at the end of the year if you finish it. So you choose the one with the event that you want to play.
Not a bad idea. I think for me, a lot of times if I can't decide on a game, I'll just not play something. I'll go read or watch something, or I have so many games, and sometimes I'm very focused on what I want to play. I almost slipped into Philly there. I almost slipped into what I want to play. And sometimes I'll just walk away. Like, it's okay to do that sometimes, y'all. To walk away from games, to walk away from something you can't decide on. It's okay to walk away sometimes. And to take a break. Okay. Any other comments for this one?
Well, I can.
Yeah, for me,
go
ahead. You first.
Okay, then.
You first.
Well, for me, when it comes to gaming, I may start drawing instead, and vice versa. If I can't find anything to draw, I start to game something. But if I completely lock down from choice paralysis, I like to listen to some music and just get some inspiration, just get the right vibes or something like that. And then I can finally, decide what to do, if I want to draw or if I want to game something. But that's me, at least.
All right. Well, for me, it comes down to whether or not I'm actually streaming that day. And I'm lately I've been streaming every day. So,
well, I mean,
I'm not for. Well, for me, I'm not for lack of things to play.
Right.
I'm never at a lack of things to play.
right.
So if I start streaming, I'm just streaming, and that's what's going on.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that difficult.
Now, I will tell you, streaming is great for focus. Like, there are so many games I never would have finished if not for streaming. You know? So, I'll tell you what.
I should get into that.
Yeah, sometimes if you want to focus on one game for a while, streaming is fantastic for that. So yeah, I will give you that. And if you're wondering, it's Approaching Infinity, everybody. The best, guys. If you haven't played Approaching Infinity, go buy it right now. Just buy it. Just freaking buy it. It's amazing.
It is so good.
So-
and there's so much stuff in it. It's a forever game.
Oh, it's
and I
amazing.
can tell already.
It's a desert island game. It is absolutely a desert island game. Like, it's just astounding.
And there's still more stuff coming.
Yeah, he's
What do
not
you mean
done.
there's more stuff?
Oh, he's not done. He's not done.
He's got he's actually working on right now. He's working on a help system where there's going to be. It's not exactly an in-game wiki, but something close.
What else is there to add?
Oh, don't. I mean, so much. Come on. There's so much he could probably add. He could.
I mean, a few years ago, we got shipboarding, and
Yeah.
not just boarding, but also salvaging those wrecks for actual use.
Just wait.
Okay,
He's
right.
just
Shipboarding
wait.
was a
He's,
thing.
he's going to add the ability to have your own custom space station, which is kind of already there. But I bet you
Kind of
money.
already there.
It's kind of already there. But he will actually. I bet you money. Like, it'll be like Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, where you like buy this station in this one sector and it's your home. You know, I bet you that's coming too. I bet you money that's going to be in the cards at some point. Because my God,
I mean,
he just
the
keeps
asteroid bases.
right.
The asteroid base quest. Well, here's the thing with the asteroid base quest is after you complete the asteroid base quest line, which is only building out 2 stations, you get a meta unlock of that faction's bases spread throughout multiple sectors, and each one can be built up.
Oh,
Each-
Jesus Christ!
Each
Okay.
one.
That might be.
So-
That's even bigger than what I was suggesting. My God. Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that is absolutely a thing that's kind of in, not the way you were thinking of it, though.
But it kind of is in. My God. So I just noticed something that I wish. I'm just going to side note here. If you guys have ever used Google Meet, I think Zoom has this also. It's got an option to raise your hand, so you could like.
Yeah.
I wish Discord had that.
Yeah, but alas, it does not.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest
It
that.
technically
to them.
does.
It does.
No, it technically does. Yeah, but it's mainly for stage.
It's for like
events.
it's for the stage event stuff, not
Oh,
for
come on.
in-call stuff.
Come on.
Because they can't make this thing properly. Right, shall
Anyway,
we continue?
Yeah, let's remove that one. Next. One tangent down. Do you prefer multiplayer games or to go solo? 100,000%. I mean, I've had fun playing co-op with you guys, but if someone held a gun to my head, it'd be solo every time, every goddamn time.
Depends on the game.
That's not unfair. You know. But like, all of my favorite games are single player endeavors. So yeah, for me, it's single player, 100% every time. What about you guys?
It depends on the game. In my case,
Yeah.
most of the time solo, but there have been plenty of games that are just, even though they're great single player, they are better in co-op.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like,
And we've had that experience.
like Pulsar,
we've had that
Lost
experience.
Colony, for example. The EDF
Or the
games.
EDF game.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some examples where co-op is better. Yes, of course. But I think the games that have the longest legs are the ones that give you the option. You know, like you can do solo.
Absolutely.
Like-
where it's not forced.
Like Deep Rock Galactic. You know, if you want to play by yourself, you could totally take your little I forget the name
Moscow.
Bosco. You could take Bosco, who is wonderful, and have a great time. Or you could like And that's a game that's maybe one of the only games I could play with random people. I think I usually don't like playing with random people, but that might be one of the only games where I can sometimes jump in a game with 3 other people and still have a good time, even though I don't know them. That might be it.
Well, it's like a friend of mine says, it depends on multiplayer games or massively multiplayer games. As a friend said, if somebody is bent on yucking my yum, it's like, listen, dude, all I want to do is mine these asteroids. Leave me the F alone, or I'm not going to build any more spaceships or something like that. Then it's like, single player, see you later. I'm going to a game where I can mine by myself. Unless it's a game where it's like, okay, Final Fantasy 14, I have yet to have a bad group of strangers. And you just announce, hey, my first time, or if it's like we have a static group, that used to be our static game. And we say, okay, we're all going to wait till we have the same dungeon, which is a bottleneck. But also it depends on if it's a single player game, is it a role-playing game where I feel like it's alive? And what I mean by that is, if you've ever played a game like Skyrim and you go to one of the major cities, it's like, wow, there's people everywhere that want to talk to you and give you a quest. But if you go to the new dwarf where they have the special instance player housing for dwarves, it's like a tomb. So it's like, no, thank you. So it depends on if it's a single player game, if it's a role playing game. On the other hand, you can play Tetris Effect not by yourself, or Tetris Effect. I don't know if you can play that with others, but there's a version I played where you can compete against others, and it's like, okay, what's the point? I do this for relaxation, so I'm going to play it by myself. So that's my standard.
Multiplayer Tetris can be very fun.
Yeah. Tetris Effect, by the way, does have a 4-player mode where it's 3 players against a boss player.
Oh, wow. That sounds neat.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's very much a thing. It also has PvE where you can team up with 2 friends against a boss. So that's also an option.
At the end of a long, stressful day, and considering what and where I do and where I work, there's a lot of long, stressful days anymore, because now
you have non-stressful days?
I used to, not anymore. Now it's just sign. Here's your authority. Sign everything. I'll talk to you once a week. I said, oh my God, thanks for the authority. But, so at the end of a long, stressful day, it's always, I'm going to play a single player game where there's zero stress. And so it's like, if it's Tetris Effect, I'm going to play something where I can just zone out, turn up the music I really like, and I'm not going to die out of the game.
Did everyone answer? I'm not sure everyone answered.
And I haven't.
Okay.
It's a tricky question for me, but mostly I would say 95% chance that I would say solo. Because many times when we go multiplayer, there's always the discussion of you doing something wrong, having a wrong build, you're not following the meta, or something like that. And I guess sometimes I want to do my own thing, damn it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I'm a rule breaker in that department when it comes to multiplayer. Yeah.
Oh, Chris brings up a good exception. Like some games I love multiplayer, like the classic Unreal Tournament. Like the best Unreal Tournament, obviously.
It also depends on the group of people. You know, I've played in believe it or not, it was actually in a group that was a PvP group once, and my sister got kicked out for being too PvP, and so I quit in solidarity. But I'm in a group now in Lotro called Concerning Habits. Great group of people, and the static group.
You joined a new group?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good.
I did, and moved into a hobbit hole, and it's called Concerning Hobbits. Great group of people. They're all hobbits.
Is it in the
I wanted.
Sorry, is it in is it in the Shire?
I don't know where everybody lives, but I haven't been to the kinship house yet. I don't know where they are. I would be surprised if it isn't, because everybody in the group, actually, you don't have to be a hobbit, but as it just happens, everybody is a hobbit. And I was, when I first logged on, I created a brawler, and I called the brawler Sugar Ray, and a lot of people aren't old enough to remember Sugar Ray Robinson, but some people have.
See, I think of the band Sugar Ray.
See, and I thought to myself, well, because they say, well, why? One person remembered, say, oh, why Sugar Ray Robinson? I said, because the thought of a little tiny hobbit beating the snot out of a hill troll with their bare fist, I find just tickles me pink.
It is inherently hilarious, yes.
Great. Did everyone answer
May
that?
May I add something more to the question?
Of course.
A slight tangent. This question also kind of reminds me of the PV versus PvP situation, and I'm 100% PV. I mean, those people who wants PvP in Helldivers 2, I don't know what they're talking about. It is a PvE game. We're supposed to work together. So, yeah, I like working
supposed to being the operative word here, but that's a different topic.
That 180mm barrage. Sorry about that.
All right, next question. Let's go. Wink. What do we got? Has a game storyline ever brought up to tears or angered you? So I guess, has a game storyline ever driven you to tears or angered you?
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Many times. I will once again, let's bring up one example for each of us. Like for me, it's always Starflight, where when you find out, the material you've been using for fuel the whole game are the ancients, and you've been killing them for fuel the whole time. I just stared at the monitor crying for like 20 minutes because I was like, holy shit. I was 13.
And you have to keep doing it.
And you have to keep doing it. You can't stop. If you're going to save the galaxy, you have to keep doing it. It's horrible. So I guess that brought me to tears and angered me because I had to keep killing them in order to finish the game. Thankfully that they're not fueling the second game. Thankfully. But in the first game, oof.
The technology has progressed.
Thank God. What about you guys? One game that's done this.
I've got one. Absolutely. Everybody who's ever played Final Fantasy 14 and hasn't got past, I'd say level 20, plug up your ears for the next 2 minutes. And that is in Final Fantasy 14, while Sultana Nanamo was assassinated. I was so furious. I wanted to put my fist through the screen. I wanted to find
that entire
out who
incident.
murdered Sultana, and I in-game and kill the person and then take out my vengeance on the writer who wrote the quest. And it's only until later, and if you're still tuned in, you've played Final Fantasy 14, you haven't reached this, log out for the next 30 seconds. When I found out she was alive, I was oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus, she's alive, because she was my second favorite character in the whole game, and I was just kind of, you can't do this to me.
Yeah,
you can't do this to me. The other one, just one game. Sorry.
That's okay. What about you guys? Anybody else?
Now, for brought me to tears and for angered me, I have two very different examples.
Okay, I guess which one hits you harder? Let's just say.
So there's one I can talk about more because for brought me to tears, it has to be Undertale, but that one is arguably self-explanatory. Because it's Undertale. Yeah. It's very good.
Yeah.
Now, as for the game that angered me the most in terms of its storyline, Far Cry 5. Oh. There is a very clear... Everyone who's played that game immediately goes, oh, right, yeah. Why? Because this is a game that sets up a villain who is an insane cult leader from a weird doomsday cult, and then has the audacity to end the game on a note that goes, "Yeah, by the way, the evil cult leader was completely right." And he also mind controlled you now.
What?
Because
Well, I mean, we did play to the end of Far Cry 5 on stream.
well, then you know what happens.
Yeah.
And it drove me livid.
We did play to the end of Far Cry 5, and then we did New Dawn after that.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought I said Final Fantasy. I don't know why I heard Final Fantasy, but Far Cry, yes. I remember Far Cry 5.
Yeah, Far Cry 5. I legitimately never have been frustrated more at a game ending, because straight up, like, I don't think I've ever had a game straight up, make a villain that I would argue is very realistic, in that I know people like that.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Some of them are in government.
Oh, no.
But then go. Oh, by the way, yeah, he's right. And a nuke is dropped at the end of the game for no reason.
Oh, that was.
And turns out the doomsday does in fact happen. And
that was a canon ending, so that's what they established it for New Dawn. That was kind of the point of New Dawn, is that
Ubisoft, what was your plan there? Like, what was the message? Listen to the weird cult guy?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going for?
They're so fucking French. I don't fucking know.
I think the message there was, sometimes you do everything you can do, and still things go badly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You can do. I mean, taking it from the Picard quote, you could do everything right and still lose. That
is the best. That is the most positive way to read that ending. I just ended up annoyed.
I can't play an Ubisoft game without hearing Robin Williams imitating a Frenchman talking to someone from the U.S.
What?
He does this pretend he's smoking and then says, "Filthy American."
That is a very specific bit. I hope you understand that.
Oh, yeah.
I know the bit you're talking about. I've seen it.
Yeah, I remember the bit. Yeah, she's like, wow, that's a deep cut. That's a very deep cut right there. Did everyone answer? I'm not sure. That's hard to keep track.
I haven't, but I have this thing that we started with, some choice paralysis. So yeah, we're back at that.
Do you want to skip? It's fine. If you don't,
I'll go next.
Okay.
Then, because I haven't. So my pick for that would be, not just one game, but the entirety of the Yakuza / Like a Dragon series, because it's filled with those moments.
Yeah.
It is extremely bipolar from my experience.
It can be. Yeah,
the best way I would describe.
There are absolutely moments that hit you so hard.
Yeah.
Because they're so relatable. And I don't even want to pin down one.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, you'll spoil things for people who haven't played them. You should play them, people. The Yakuza games are great. Especially the Like a Dragons.
And now they're on Switch.
I don't know how they managed to keep the world's most bipolar tone seem coherent. Like, you're going back to back from serious crime drama to like RV racing subplots.
Yeah, go-kart racing to pick up trash. To pick up trash. Or whatever that was. No, go-kart racing.
It all works.
And it
works.
It works. It's so weird how, like, 1 minute you're doing this very serious moment, the next moment you're on a bicycle trying to pick up trash while avoiding other people who are doing the same thing to collect as much trash as you can to buy this one book that you fucking need.
They have a pirate game spin-off, which is apparently very good.
Of course it is.
It is.
Of course
most
it is.
of it. I completed it earlier this year. I streamed most of it. It is fantastic. It is fantastic.
At some point, I have to play the Hawaii one. At some point, once I eventually get it.
Ubisoft, eat your heart out. Whatever that freaking quadruple A game was. What was it called? It was so unremarkable. That's the one.
Skull and Bones.
Skull and
yeah.
It was so utterly unremarkable, I forgot about it. Sorry.
God.
And well, the comparisons were made that when Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii came out, that people completely forgot that Skull and Bones was even a thing. So that's
I did. I did.
All right, did everyone answer that one? I think so. Right?
We're down at David, I believe, but David is thinking.
David, if you
Yeah,
don't,
counts are returning, so.
no, we could skip if you want. It's not no pressure. You know, we could skip.
If you don't have an answer, that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't,
totally
have a
fine.
direct answer without spoiling any.
No,
broader,
totally
so.
fine. We'll move on. No, this is supposed to be easy peasy. This is supposed to be light. No, no, we're not trying to stress anybody out here. All right, Wheel of Morality. Turn. What's your favorite game genre? Well, I've got three: space games, flight sims, and ARPGs. Like they all pretty much inhabit the top for me. And I just bounce between the three of them at all times. What about you guys?
I think for me it's RPGs, but I will admit mostly I lean towards single player RPGs. See earlier question about people that you play with that want to yuck your yum. And as far as space games, I tend toward massively multiplayer space games that I can enjoy with other people who aren't going to be assholes. Or can I say assholes on the air? I just did.
Yeah.
Or I can just turn them off entirely. Like I play a lot of No Man's Sky, and I play a lot of Star Trek Online, but mostly No Man's Sky. So I think I'd say space games, kind of massively multiplayer, or like single player RPGs. And if it's the end of a really long day, something that's kind of a casual game that takes no brain power whatsoever.
Yeah. What about the rest of you guys? It's a tough one.
My top would have to be roguelikes because
Yeah.
that covers a lot. Now, bear in mind that covers a hell of a lot.
Quite a bit. Yes, that's part of the beauty of it.
Includes,
That's part of the beauty of it.
yes, because it includes things like FTL and all of the bullet hell games that I play.
I'm gonna put away my pedantry hat for now.
Well, because I'm not using the Berlin definition for this. So to
Yes,
be very
clarify.
clear, I'm not using.
Yes, do clarify that because people like me will get annoyed.
Well, the Berlin definition doesn't really apply anymore because the genres have expanded beyond what the Berlin definition covers. So yes, you can still use it for games that meet those specific criteria, but when any given layman uses the term, they aren't necessarily just referring to the Berlin definition.
Fair enough.
So yeah, roguelites, that's my jam. And because that covers so much, I can pretty much leave everything else off, aside from RPGs. Because that, again, covers so much.
Yeah, it does. What about you guys?
Well, absolute favorite one. That's a hard pick, tough pick. I gotta say. I would probably say space games in the sense that I love 6 Degrees of Freedom. I mean, you have heard me talk about Desecrators and X4, so yeah, you know about that. But if I may also say that a close runner-up is actually a genre that I wouldn't even know if I would call a game, and that's clicker idler games. It's so weird.
It's a game.
It's something. It's something that just has the numbers go up. It's so simple.
It tickles the same part of the brain. Yeah, it's a game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no judgment on that.
No judgment.
And
at all.
absolutely real-time strategy games that Chris mentioned here in the chat. But they're a dying breed, so I hope we see.
They're kind of coming back though. They're coming back a little bit. What was that one we just had? Tempest Rising.
Tempest Rising.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Tempest Rising and
time with it.
And it seems pretty good from what I heard.
Yeah, I think RTSs are slowly coming back, which is good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the nostalgia cycle means that they sort of come back in waves.
That's what happens. I mean, look at space games. They go out, they come back. Look at RPGs. They went out, they're back in huge. So I mean, I'm sure there'll be and look at flights. Look at flight sims. Like they were kind of down, but now they're coming back. So like all these genres.
Yeah, we're getting nuclear option and other stuff.
Tiny Combat Arena, yada yada yada. Yeah, so so these things happen in cycles. Like FPS games were like kind of down for a while, and now they're you can fucking shake a stick and hit 18 FPS for first person shooters. But RTS games, even the classics are still playable. Like I was playing Rise of Legends the other day, which is a very weird one, but very good, but very weird. Have we hit everyone? No, Julie. Oh, Julie, you did say yours. I think we've hit everyone. Am I remembering correctly? I think we did. No, Jacob, did you say?
Yeah, I was skipped over, but
sorry.
I mean, so for one genre, hard to say. I am a simulator player. I do play various flavors of sim.
Yeah.
I do massively also enjoy co-op games of various flavors. But the main problem is genre is a broad term, and I don't really have a favorite one.
That's fair.
Because I tend to just play things I enjoy. That's
completely fair. Sometimes you just love games. You don't have a specific genre, go-to genre. That's fine. All right, let's remove that. You guys hear that banging outside? I hope not.
Nope.
Good. Have you ever seen somebody get really angry when they lose? Oh, many, many times when I used to go to arcades regularly, especially when like games like Street Fighter became a thing. People would get really angry if they lost at Street. And I did see someone once damage a Dance Dance Revolution machine by kicking the pad so hard he like damaged two of them because they lost.
Oh God.
Yeah. And that's not easy to do. And they were really angry. And I'd never seen anything like that before. What about you guys?
I used to be a game admin, so I saw that all the time. All the time. And since it was for a free-to-play browser-based MMO, that meant that a lot of people, because of the barrier to entry being so low, ended up doing rule breaks and justifying their bad behavior in all sorts of ways that have actually reduced my trust in humanity in a lot of ways. There's a reason I'm not a game admin anymore.
Yeah, I believe it. I totally believe it. Okay, who else?
I don't know if this applies, but kind of. I was, for about a second and a half, a admin on a private Ultima Online server. This goes back when, dinosaurs roamed the earth and there was very few choices out there. And I would just play the game and just, have fun. And for those who have never played Ultima Online, there's divided, and I don't know, it used to be, I don't know if it still is, divided in two parts, and I believe they were called Trammel and Felucia, and Felucia was the PvP part. So, I would schedule, events for the players and then go and play on myself, and sometimes on the PvP server, and I had somebody PK me, which is okay, and but they found out who I was, and they just flipped out, and it was like, oh my God, what have I done? Oh my God, what have I done? I said, makes you feel better. I'll kill you later, but I don't think I'm able. So that's kind of the person flipped out. They weren't angry, but they were just kind of angry at themselves.
Who haven't we heard from? I think David and Spaz, I don't think we've heard from.
Oh no, I answered already.
No, sorry, David
What
and
a-
Jacob. David and Jacob. I don't think we've heard.
Yeah, Jacob. Joe, go ahead. I'll write something here. And agree.
Okay, can you repeat the question because I kind of zoned out for a second?
Have you ever seen anyone get really angry at a game when they lose?
Oh,
If
honestly,
no, that's fine.
yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, yes. There isn't much in the way of story to it. I still remember one time I was doing, I was playing Star Trek Online and got accused of hacking somehow.
What?
By my own teammate.
Oh, great.
But besides that, I mean, it happens occasionally. But typically, I just turn off chats in games to keep things down.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And when I play competitive games, I tend to actually play tabletop war games, where people are much calmer when they're in punching distance. I'll tell you that much.
And when there's actually a physical board with physical pieces, and
yes,
you don't want to damage any of that precious cargo.
Yes, you look at the table, you see like $300 worth of plastic.
How many hundreds of dollars of cardboard and plastic are we looking at here?
One bad swing, and that's a retirement. That's a retirement's worth going to straight to the bin.
Oh man. God,
quick tangent I'll throw in here real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick tangent. My brother has a rule when it comes to tabletop board games, which is that if there are drinks nearby, if the drink costs more than the game, it's allowed to be on the table. If it doesn't, it needs to be somewhere else.
That's pretty good.
Considering how expensive board games can be. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. I see some of these board games. I'm like, how much is that? But then I think of how much I spend in video games. I'm like, all right. Yeah, it's fine. David, if you don't have an example, that's fine. We can move on.
Well, I have a personal experience from way back in low grade school with myself.
Fine.
Actually, of all things,
that's fine.
I were playing ping pong. I lost, and I threw the racket into the ground, and it split into 1,000 pieces.
Oh no! Was anyone hurt?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Oh, thank God.
Destroyed that racket. So. Yeah, I lost all temperament at that point.
Well, I'm glad no one was hurt by the flying splinters of that racket. That's what I was.
Yeah.
That's very lucky. All right, next question. Trundling right along here. Oh. Okay. Are there any games you went out of your way to find art books and materials that expand the game? Well, I could talk about this. So I just want to go real quick. I'll start. When I was younger and went to like electronics boutique and whatnot a lot, I thought strategy guides were a waste of fucking time and money. Because and I realized after working at electronics boutique, they push strategy guides on you because that's where they make their money. They don't make money from the games. They make money from the ancillary stuff like controllers and strategy guides and stuff. But now I am a strategy guide addict. Like I just bought a strategy guide for Digital Integrations Apache because I didn't realize back in the day, it's not just giving you tips about playing the game. It's giving you insight into how the game was made. Like the Gunship 2000 strategy guide, which is hard to find, by the way, has a great developer interview at the end of it. That's a delight to read. The Master of Orion guides, especially the guide for the first one. Oh my God. And so yeah, I've been buying vintage strategy guides as the day is long, probably to the my wife isn't super happy about it, but like I make sure they're cheap. And I did get the art books for Titanfall because I love the art in Titanfall. But and Elder Scrolls. I've got like so many Elder Scrolls books, not just strategy guides, but like they're like leather bound Elder Scrolls lore books that came out with Elder Scrolls Online, and I have those. I've got a giant leather bound Skyrim art book, for example. So yeah, strategy guides mainly, but a few art books here and there as well. But oh my god, strategy guides are just astounding. I kind of addicted to finding them, and especially for flight sims. Oh my god, for flight sims.
I have a good example.
Go for it.
And it was a gift. I didn't buy it for myself, but there was a time where I was almost completely as enamored of Guild Wars 2 as the one that you and Spaz have been playing, and it was back when there was only Guild Wars 2. And so my sister bought me a collector's edition with art, like back when collector's editions were actual hard copies of things, with this huge tabletop book, which I still have, and a figurine which is 1.5 feet tall of one of the major characters that is still in the original box. And I have never taken it out. And it was a wonderful gift. And now that I've said that, I'll probably want to go back to Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, I don't blame you. The art for Guild Wars 2 is very impressive. I could see really getting into that. I think only Julie and I have answered so far. What about you? What about you guys?
I don't really buy collector's editions anymore, but when I did, the one that really impressed me was the one I got for the PS4 version of Valkyria Chronicles 4. It did come with the art book. It did come with a physical copy of the game on disc. It came with download codes for all the DLC as they were being released. And then it also had a model of the Hafen tank, which is your hero tank in the game. And it's a big model, too, with a few customizable pieces you can put onto it. Flags.
Ooh.
And I've bought a few other collector's editions since, but that one and maybe the Fallout 3 collector's edition are the ones that stick out most in my mind, because the Fallout 3 edition that I got came with a little Pip-Boy, and yeah, the Pip-Boy, you could actually open it up. It wasn't that big, so it's not like you could fit it around most people's wrists, but it was something you could actually open up and wear if you had small enough arms to do so. And I even saw people who had modded that Pip-Boy to fit a Samsung Galaxy S3 screen. Yeah.
What?
So it was actually functional. Yeah.
That's amazing. Ah, crap, that's great. Okay, who hasn't gone yet? I don't think
I haven't.
Okay, David and Jacob, I don't think you guys have gone, if I remember correctly.
Or do you want to go first, Jacob?
No, David,
I don't.
Oh, good.
Mostly because I don't have much to say, because the answer is kind of no.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. If it's no, that's fine.
I tend to not. I tend to not have played many games that have art books.
Right.
Like, the closest I'm willing to argue is the Homeworld series, for which I've gotten basically everything that's out there, including the role-playing game in the big fancy, like, hardcover edition thing.
There's a Homeworld role-playing game?
Oh
yeah, it's based on Star Trek Adventures, and thusly it is okay. Because it's very clearly a Star Trek game that they kind of kludged into Homeworld, which means it fits not terribly, but not well. I'll put it that way.
I didn't know it was released. So, okay.
It's been out for like several years at this point.
Look at that.
No idea. I've never heard of it. What about you? What about you, David?
Well, since I have free art books with Mass Effect, I guess that may tell
Oh.
something. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I find a game and really like it, I really like to pick up the art book if I can. I don't think I have any art books for Dead Space or those games. But I think I've seen one of those in that local bookshop in Stockholm. Maybe I should go ahead and buy it, because some of the stuff in the Dead Space, where if we're talking about technology and stuff, are pretty damn interesting when I get to see it up close. Necromorph stuff? No, probably not. But yeah, I have 3 different Mass Effect art books. It's like, oh yeah, I have seen a Mass Effect art book. I want this thing next year. Oh, that's it. That's a Mass Effect art book. I don't have one of these, have I? Ah, let's buy it. And then I realize I have already one back at home. And then 2 years later, I repeat the process. So I have 3 different Mass Effect art books.
I had to do that. I had to do something like that with my physical media, like movie and TV collection. I actually had to put it all in an app because I almost bought a digital copy of a thing I already own. So maybe you should do that with your books, like put them in a Google Sheet or something.
Maybe I should. Yeah. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. I actually created a checklist now so I can keep better track of who's answered. I should have done that before, but I just thought of it.
We're almost tried doing this professionally.
Yeah, you get what you pay for, everybody. Have you ever used a walkthrough? Oh, fuck yes. The first time I ever did one was for King's Quest III back in the day. They would sell these hint books, and it came with a book with a bunch of blank things and a highlighter. And they didn't want to spoil the game for you, so you use the highlighter to only reveal the bits you needed, so you wouldn't spoil the rest. Very weird. But yes, I've used walkthroughs several times over the years. What about you guys?
Many times and written them.
Yes, you have. That's true. Yes, you have. That's true.
I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. And this is, if you know somebody who's gotten through this game without a walkthrough, let me know. My sister and a whole team of coworkers tried to get through it without a walkthrough and couldn't. And that is a game a long time ago called Myst.
Oh God.
And
Fuck
it's
yeah.
like,
Fuck yeah.
challenge you to get through it without a walkthrough and still keep your sanity.
I didn't make it through the first puzzle. I was like, what the hell is this? And then I just stopped. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Didn't even make it that far. Oh God, yeah, I cannot imagine getting through those kind of games without a walkthrough. My lord. David and Jacob, what about you guys?
I remember playing, what was it called? Right. Sam & Max, actually. The first Sam & Max game.
That game was so fucking hard. Yes.
It was proper tough.
Brutally fuck. It was like on the level of like one of the hardest adventure games I've ever played was the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy text adventure. And that's like peak for me. And so Sam & Max was almost that hard. Like, my God.
Yeah, okay. No, it wasn't the first one. It was Sam & Max Save the World, but yes, still, it's goodness.
Yeah. Oh my God. Those games are so, my God, difficult. David, what about you?
Well, it's not a booklet or a true guide or whatever from beginning to end, but
that's fine.
I guess maybe that's a slight tangent, but there are many games I have played in my youth that I would never manage to complete without the help of game facts.
Yes.
Yeah, fair.
That's totally fair. That's in the same oeuvre, you know. I would say that's in the same like thing, you know. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I mean there have been for years walkthroughs that people have written on there. So that counts, even though it may not be in print, still counts.
Heaven forbid that site ever goes down. They've got so much stuff on there for old games too. Like, my God. Heaven forbid.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the
stuff
first
going back decades.
Yeah, decades. Right, David?
I think one of the first times I thoroughly used the GameFAQs was for the PlayStation 2 game Dark Chronicle, which is Dark Cloud 2 in the US, if I'm correct, where you can actually miss things. Like you can be actually locked out of some content in the game.
Oh,
It has
geez.
some crafting mechanics where you have to take photos of certain events. Some enemies are doing a thing, and then you have to take a photo of that monster doing the thing or whatever. And yeah, I can entirely miss that if it is a actual boss fight. So yeah,
Oh, gosh.
that is terrible.
Oh, gosh.
So yeah, that guide really came to help because yeah, sometimes oh yeah, you can craft this super weapon if you have this photo. Well, I haven't taken it. Well, too bad. Then you have to start over from the beginning. Oh crap!
To sing GameFAQs' praises, I found two very useful things for old games. Like the lead developer of Gunship 2000 wrote his own little strategy guide on there. And someone wrote an impromptu strategy guide for 1830 Railroads and Robber Barons, which I've been getting back into lately. And
that's a curious one.
It's an amazing game. It's made by the same folks who made Master of Orion, Simtex. It's an adaptation of the board game, but the PC game has random maps and a brutally cunning AI, like an amazing AI. So I started playing that on my tablet, and I'm terrible at it, but wow, it's an amazing game. And yeah, someone wrote a little strategy guide that I'm reading through on GameFAQs for it. Get on. Oh God, if that ever goes away. Hopefully Archive has it saved. Archive.org has it saved. All right, what do we got now? I think we can do one or two more. What's more important, action or story? Huh.
That's a tough one.
No, it's not.
That one could be a show topic all on its own, but let's not dwell on that too much.
Dwell
Yeah,
on what
absolutely.
dwell on what too much?
That it could be a topic on its own.
It really could
A topic
be.
show on its own.
I can't decide because some of my favorite games have both excellent action and a fantastic. I guess kind of it's action because my all-time favorite game is Starfleet 2, which does not really have an overarching story. But then my other favorite games do have overarching stories that weave into the action pretty well. So I guess it depends on the game.
Starfleet 2 does have the campaign as the story that you're
sort of.
I mean,
yeah.
Sort of, yeah. But I would say rather than action, maybe moment-to-moment gameplay.
Yeah,
might be a better term for how to quantify that.
Like it depends on the game. Like if you're talking Wing Commander, story is definitely more important than the gameplay because the gameplay is clearly secondary to the story.
Well, I mean, you're not playing Tetris for the story. It's the moment-to-moment gameplay that matters.
Right, that's true. It does depend on the game. Can anyone answer this definitively, one way or another?
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely,
go ahead.
I can.
Go ahead.
The deal is this. First off, one of the things that I'm going to be doing with my retirement, if I'm ever not forced to retire, is writing. One of my editors finally done dragging her feet on the book I finished. I'm going to be a professional writer now. I'm just not doing it professionally. And so I enjoy a good story. And even if like the graphics suck and the action sucks, story to me is more important. A good example is Undertale, or like for example the first Fallout 3 game. The graphics aren't the best, but that one, I still think to the part of the game where you have to decide whether you're going to live in 10 Point Tower or and blow up the nearby settlement or vice versa. But there's a quest as a result that's like, do you let the zombies live in 10 Point Tower, 10 Pence Tower?
10 Penny Tower.
10 Penny Tower, thank you. And the thing is, I love the writing of that particular quest because there's no right answer. It's the Kobayashi Maru Fallout. And so even if the graphics stink, if it's got really good writing, and this goes back to the day with multi-user dungeons and when there were no graphics in games, and I've played a few like that early on. If the story is good, I enjoy it.
What about you guys? I don't think we've heard from Spaz, Jacob, or David.
Yeah, I'm very much the opposite, if I'm honest.
Sure.
I'm the sort of person who can and will skip cutscenes he has not seen before if I don't find it sufficiently interesting.
Oh my god, I do that. I'm gonna be honest, I do that all the time. Like, nope, I want to get to the game. Stop talking. I don't care. And
I am very much one of those can I play the video game please sort of people.
And I feel kind of bad because you can tell people put work into these cutscenes, you know, voice actors, animators, blah blah. I'm like, nope, I want to play. I want to shoot. I don't care. Just let me go.
Let me play the video game. I paid money for the video game.
Exactly.
On the flip side, there are games you really shouldn't do that with, like the Like a Dragon series.
Yeah. Well,
the story is so important. If you're skipping all of the cutscenes,
yeah.
Now, granted, if you've seen them before, that's one thing. But if you are playing for the first time, that expedition is so important.
Yeah.
It's integral to the story to not skip it.
Yes, and there is an argument to be had that the core gameplay loop is good, but not quite good enough to be there by itself.
Fair enough.
So I guess that's also depending on which game it is.
Yeah.
That's a different topic, I suppose. Yeah, because if the story is good and the gameplay is good, yeah, sure, that's great. But that combination doesn't always exist. It can't always exist because of the varying genres.
Sometimes effort is spent elsewhere. Yeah.
Chris knows me. Privateer had a terrible game, but an interesting story. Yeah, it's a great movie and a terrible game.
It did.
Yeah.
it had a story.
Great movie, terrible game. Excellent acting, terrible game. Spaz and David, have you guys answered this one? I don't remember.
I haven't.
Okay, go ahead, David.
I did.
Okay.
So whatever Jacob said there is probably a Viva la Dirt League skit somewhere, I believe, if you skip all the cutscenes. But yeah, if it comes to me, well, mostly I would probably go for action. But that's just me. I would have replayability or stuff like that. Because most likely you can only play through a story once. You can't be surprised the next time around. Like, I played through Resident Evil 7 a couple of times. I played through Resident Evil 4 a bunch of times.
Right.
But I'm doing that for the gameplay.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's do one more and then wrap it up. Spin. Okay. Have you ever pretended to be sick to get out of something so you could play a game? Of course I have. When I was a kid, especially, I used to get sick all the time, like legitimately get sick. So it was very easy for me to pretend to be sick, so I can go home and play something. I did that with Starflight. To be perfectly honest, there were like a couple weeks in a row where I'm not feeling well, and because I was a fairly sick kid most of the time, they'd be like, "Okay, you can go home." I would just go home and play Starflight for hours.
I was in the opposite. I tried multiple times. It never worked.
Oh no.
because I had the opposite problem. I had an immune system made out of adamantium and ceramite.
Oh,
I basically never got sick ever.
Well, that's good. Feel fortunate now. Feel good now about that. Now, yeah,
yeah. It's good. It's good now. But when I wanted to not go to school, then it seemed like a downside.
It's hard to really fake being sick if you're never sick. Yeah. What about you guys? As Julie, David?
Work never in 42 years.
Wow. Oh man.
And it's the thing is, a lot of people forget when you do what I do, and I won't get into it, but there are people who depend on us, and I've seen people, it's like they're living on $20 a month, and it's like you miss a day, somebody's hurting. But school is another matter, and my family are all gone now, so I can say this is like I used to do all the time. Dan, my gerbils escaped again. And I would take them out myself and let them loose in my room. I can't find them, Dad. And I was And granted, I
What's the
went.
creativity?
That's
And
great.
This was like back before there was an internet kind of thing. So, but yes, that's what I used to do growing up.
Oh,
You know,
man.
and I hated the school I went to, and there was a bully there who would bully me, and I got blamed. The bully once beat me up, and I got blamed for it. And I said, "Look, I'm not going anymore." After a certain point, so I would do that. I would say, "Dad, my gerbil escaped again." You know, it's like, Julie, how many times in 1 week can your gerbil escape? He's a clever little bastard, Dad. What did you say?
That's great. Spaz and David, what about you guys?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's an obvious yes in my case. But then again, I got sick a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when you get sick,
there's that.
when you get sick a lot, it's really, like I said earlier, easy to pretend that you're sick. Because the adults
I used
believe.
I used to get because of how bad my allergies are year round. I used to get nosebleeds on a regular basis.
Oh crap!
Because of the amount of sneezing would cause the blood vessels to burst.
Oh yeah.
So
and your nose is probably all irritated and everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Shit.
So yeah.
For me, it was ear infections. I got so many fucking ear infections as a kid. I don't know how, but like every other fucking month, I would go home with an ear infection. I haven't had one in years, but when I was a kid, all the goddamn time. God, I had dozens of ear infections. David, I think you're last.
All right. Well, to be honest, never. I have never done that. So I guess I followed the rules this time.
Wow, a goody
But I
two
do
shoes in our
remember-
midst. Wow.
But I do remember from the early 2000s when World of Warcraft came out that a lot of my classmates disappeared those days when it came out. So yeah,
I think I
that was probably
remember.
that.
I think I remember seeing a story that like for adults at least, productivity dipped like across the board when World of Warcraft came out. Like they did a study where it showed like so many people called out and went home and took vacation days and stuff. Like there was a legitimate drop in worker productivity when World of Warcraft came out.
There's a related story to that, which is that Dragon Quest, the long-running JRPG series in Japan, they don't have release dates for their games during the week because when the new Dragon Quest game would come out, kids would skip school to go play that.
Oh,
because they would actually release it. Yeah, they actually made it a point to not release during the week specifically because that was the case.
That's terrific. That is terrific. We covered a lot.
Hilarious.
We covered a lot of questions today, you guys. Well done, everyone. So that's going to do it for this episode, y'all. Next week, again, we're going to be doing like kind of a live topic creation roundtable where we brainstorm and butt our heads together and come up with some ideas for future podcasts. Don't worry, you guys. You don't have to do any homework. I'm going to lead the thing, so it's fine. Don't worry. And then tomorrow we're going to be doing more Approaching Infinity. We're doing that for the rest of the week because it's so goddamn good. So have a great day, everyone. Be safe, be well. Take care of each other. Please get vaccinated while you still can. Check your immunities. Wear your masks. Because, I mean, stuff is coming that wasn't around.
Things are getting interesting.
I mean, we thought we dealt with the measles and polio, but hey, I mean, making disease great again.
Back.
Yeah, making disease great again.
Back from the past.
Yeah.
Stay out of filth-infested creeks with your family.
Oh, for
on
God's
Mother's Day.
sakes, those poor children. Yeah, wear your masks. Thank you, as always, to our patrons who help pay for things like Restream, which is expensive. Don't forget, I've started a new podcast called Retro Dogfight, which is about classic flight sims. And don't forget to wear your helmet. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more Approaching Infinity. Have a great one, everyone.